Hello everyone, and welcome to the TechHub.Training Python solution for the Fred's Fairly Reliable Challenge. Now for this challenge, we have been asked specifically to work in a pandas data frame within Python. There are plenty of other ways you could complete this in Python, but we are going to stick to pandas. Let's get started. So I'm going to open up Visual Studio Code, which is where I chose to complete this challenge, but any place that can run pandas and Python will work. So the first thing we need to do is we need to import the packages that we are going to use. So right here I'm importing pandas and numpy, and using this as just makes it as PD and as NP just makes it so it's a little bit less typing that you have to do when doing your code, but you can always fully type out pandas. Then the next thing we need to load in the data set. So if you have the data set in the same folder as this Jupyter notebook, then you can copy my code exactly, or you can copy the file path from your computer. So, and then we're just going to run this cell, and df.head just shows us the top 5 rows in our data set so we can get familiar with the columns, their titles, and kind of what the data looks like. So the next step is to determine the top 10 best-selling cars. So what I did for this is I created a new column in the data frame and I named it the top 10 sales. So it's going to sort the sales in thousands column by descending, and then it's going to keep the top 10 of those in the descending. So if we go in here, we'll see that if we scroll all the way over, there's a top 10 sales, and the ones that are in the top 10 will read true there, and the ones that are not, everything else will read false. So the next step is to do the same, but with the bottom 5, the lowest 5 selling cars. So we do the exact same thing as above, but this time we want ascending because it's going to start from the lowest to the highest in ascending, and we want to keep less than or equal to 5. So then again over here we now see bottom 5 sales, and if they are in the bottom 5 it'll say true, and if they are not it'll say false. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to categorize each car based off of a margin category. So we're going to create a new column, and we are going to categorize everything where the dealership margin is greater than 0.35 as high. We're going to categorize everything where the dealership margin greater than 0.2 is medium, and everything else will be categorized as low. So we'll go ahead and run that. And then I just did df instead of df.head so we can kind of see a little bit more of the data here. But if you scroll over, you'll see margin category. And now each of these will have medium, low, medium, or high. Okay. So the 5th step of this challenge is to identify the fuel efficient cars that would qualify for a tax credit. In the instructions, we learned that tax credit eligible cars are cars that have greater than 27 miles per gallon. So we're going to create a column in the data frame where fuel efficiency greater than 27 returns true, and that returns that the car is tax credit eligible. So again, we scroll all the way over to the right, and we'll see that this first car, an Acura Integra, has fuel efficiency of 28, which is over 27, and it is true. Whereas this car right here has 27, but it is not over 27, so it returns false. Now the last step that we want to do is this is the output that we are going to show Fred and Tom. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a top tier column, and that's going to be the top tier where they are in the top 10 sales, so top 10 sales equals true, and where the margin category is high and they're tax credit eligible. And from that top tier category, we're going to create a new data frame, and we're going to set that data frame equal to where the top tier, where the 5 largest ranked by sales in thousands of the top tier category are now in this data frame. So if we run this cell, we will see that these are the 5 cars that are the highest in the top tier category. So we have Ford Explorer, Toyota Camry, Ford Taurus, Toyota Corolla, and a Honda Accord. And if we go and if we look at the sales in thousands, we can see that they're ranked 1 through 5. as well as each of them are in the top 10 sales. They're in the high margin category. They're in the top tier. They're tax credit eligible. So that is the output that we wanted to see, and I hope you guys enjoyed this challenge, and hope to see you guys back on the page. Thank you.